What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Standing Out, a daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. I am your host, Trey Griggs. Nah, just kidding. No, my name is Chris Horton. I'm filling in for Trey today. It's a travel day for him. He's got an event going on down in Florida, and he's really pumped about that. But you get me today, so I'm really excited. Before we bring our guest on, before we get started with this conversation that I think is going to be a great one, I love this guy, DJ Flores. I've loved getting to know him over the last couple of months. And we've just had some great conversations, some great back and forth, and I think we're going to have another good one today. So I'm really excited. Thanks for joining us. If you're joining us, we got to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Tafts. These are the good guys in freight factoring. They can really hook you up with all sorts of discounts, all sorts of help. Hit tafts.com. Morgan is going to put a comment in the link or in the comments below with a link, excuse me, and click that link. Let them know that Trey sent you. Good morning, Jeff. We're excited that you're joining us today. But hit that link that Morgan is going to put in the comments and let them know that Trey sent you. We also at Beta Consulting Group have a swag store now. We want you to check out shop.betaconsultinggroup.com for swag, for standing out mugs and t-shirts and hashtag t-shirts and some of Trey's personal stuff. There's some great stuff in there. Julie, good morning. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. It's going to be a great conversation. We're super pumped. But back to the swag store for a second. We've got a coupon code that you can use for our grand opening. We had that coupon code kind of messed up a little bit, so we extended our grand opening. So you can use that coupon code that we're going to throw up here on the screen for 30% off of your entire order. So please go check out shop.betaconsultinggroup.com because you know what? Swag matters. It matters. And we've got some great stuff on there. Check out those hats. I am super pumped about those hats. They're branded bills, great quality. And who doesn't want Trey's head on a hat? Everybody wants Trey's head on a hat. I can see DJ right now. He's laughing because he knows he wants it. So there it is. So we're going to go ahead and bring DJ in. Please welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show because he's been here before. Mr. DJ Flores.
What's up, everybody? What's up, man? Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I want one of those hats. You guys' swag stuff is sweet. I see it. I see everybody sharing the post of you guys sending it out. So it's awesome, man.
Yeah, man, we've put some good stuff together in there because you know what, swag matters. Trey kind of starts when this swag conversation comes up, he gets really excited because if you don't have high quality swag, you should have no swag at all. And I
agree. Yeah. Don't go cheap swag.
Man.
That tells people something too.
Absolutely.
Branding's everything, but yeah, what swag you use. If they look at this janky little thing, they're like, oh
yep.
God, what is this company? So yes,
they're like, cool.
Go big and go home with swag.
Exactly. They think when they see something cheap, they think, okay, you felt like you needed something. You felt like you had to get something in a goodie bag, and you went the cheapest route possible. It's I don't know how I feel about that. But man, we got those.
You guys have done it right. Your guys' swag's pretty sweet.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm super excited about those new hats that we got. Branded Bills make some great stuff, and there's we actually have a T-shirt that says hashtag branding matters. So I'm like, go get a shirt, go get a hat. It'll be perfect. It'll be perfect.
Yes. Branding for business, but branding for yourself too. Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Well, first of all, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me back, man. I was privileged to be on the first time, and I was honored to be asked back. So yeah, thank you, man.
Absolutely. I produced the last time that you were on, and that was the first time that we got to chat directly. That was about a month and a half, 2 months ago, something like that. Yeah. But we had a great conversation before the show started. We had a great conversation after the show started. And as soon as I found out that I was hosting today, you were the first person that came to my mind. So I was like,
dude, thank you, man.
I got to get DJ back on. I got to get him back on.
Well, thank you. Seriously. Yeah, I'm honored.
All right. Well, it looks like people are joining us in the comments here. We got Julie. How are you, Julie? Thanks for joining us.
You would definitely be smarter wearing,
at least 10 IQ points. At least 10 IQ points.
Well, people
I
just
think
see,
it's
they'll see that outline of Trey, and they're like,
yep.
okay,
I think it's the hair, because the hair reaches
the
higher.
point.
You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
you get more points. Anyway, anyway, um,
We're both
we,
jealous because we don't have any hair.
dude,
That's real.
you know, God made a few perfect heads, and on the rest He put hair. I
Ooh, I
when
like
I
that. I
there you
like
go.
that.
When I start my own shop, there's going to be a T-shirt that says that on it. Bald guys got to stick together.
Yes.
But I'm really excited about this conversation that we're going to have today, and we kind of threw some thoughts back and forth before the show started. But what I've come to know about you is you have a very entrepreneurial spirit. You've started multiple things. You kind of have your hands in a few different things all at one time. What is it that draws you to that mentality, that way of life? Because the truth is, it's really a way of life, right?
Yes. So I will say I feel like I cheated. I feel everybody needs to find their God-given gift. Everybody has a gift God gave them.
Mhm.
You just got to find it. You might not be using it right now, but my gift was I figured out with a little help from YouTube videos, Tom Bilyeu, Tony Robbins, those guys. But my gift is just faith that if somebody else can do it, even if the probability is 1 out of 1,000,000, well, I could be that one. And I've always just felt that way. I've always thought that if somebody else could do it, I could do it too. And so I failed a lot. I've failed way more than I've succeeded, but the only way to get there is from failing. You have to try. And so
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, that's a great point. Like, if you're not failing, you're not trying.
Mm.
If you're not failing, you're not trying, and you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing your business a disservice. You're doing your personal brand a disservice. And I would say that bleeds over into every area of your life. And I think that is going to be a theme in our conversation today.
Yes, sir. Yes,
If you're
sir.
not failing, you're not trying, and it's going
Not
to
failing.
affect
Yes. Yes.
every.
I agree completely. And again, anybody who's listening to David Goggins, you're gonna hear me give a lot of people of YouTube and Audible really changed my life like 12 years ago, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of been my mission to do the same for other people. But David Goggins gives it this whole idea of, we were brought here from a higher power, whatever power you want to believe that is. We were brought here for a reason. And he says when you get there, if that higher power, whoever it is or whatever it is, says this is what they had planned for you, and you don't reach what they even had planned because you didn't think it was possible, well, you just let yourself down. You just wasted your whole life. And it was hearing that, and just hearing a lot of these other guys that it was like, okay, I know that my surroundings tell me that I can only do this, but I see more, and I'm going for more. And that was
Yeah, absolutely. So in the not too distant past, I started taking a bit more seriously my health, my fitness, my diet, things like that.
yes, sir.
And I started running first thing every morning. Anyone who knows me or has known me for any extended period of time knows I am not a runner. Historically, I have hated it. I thought it was dumb. I just, like, you couldn't get me to run for anything. And there was a few conversations that my wife and I had, and a few moments that I had playing on the floor with my daughter, that for whatever reason, I believe God just kind of shifted something in my head,
Yeah.
and was like, you got to start taking this seriously, man. Because and not just, and we're going to get there, not just for my health and fitness, but it's a discipline thing. It's a
Yes.
discipline thing. And
Yes.
so my morning routine, and I want to hear about your mornings. My routine has been, I wake up at 5:30, I run 2 miles, I lift for 20 to 30 minutes, I do some stretching so I'm not cramping when I sit down at my desk, and then I take my daughter to school. My wife and I kind of alternate days, taking her to school.
Yeah.
But the days that I don't do that, I'm totally messed up, man. Like,
Mm.
I cannot function the same way.
Yes. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, yeah, it was again YouTube Audible. You'll hear me say that over and over. But it was listening to those things, searching those things out, searching shows like this out, and listening to what these successful people had to say. And the resounding thing I kept hearing from everybody, from Arnold Schwarzenegger to anybody you could think of, was to The Rock, to Kobe Bryant, to anybody: wake up early, wake up
Hmm.
early, wake up early. I I am a morning person. I'm just, I guess I'm always just ready to go. But I'd like to be a night owl. I like to just sit
Yeah.
around and do things at night too, and I can stay up late. But then when I realized listening to those mornings were so crucial, like you, we kind of
Yeah.
talked pre-show, but it was like, yeah, right. Like I could do that when I wake up. No, once I really started to believe that, I started to then religiously 5 a.m., 5 a.m. The Miracle Morning, I think there's a book about it. But again, the power in the morning, it's your time.
Mm.
Nothing else is going on. If you could leave this alone, I have a rule. I don't pick this sucker up for an hour. I don't even look at it.
Yep.
Because it would just start to trigger, and we get easily distracted by all of the things around us. We're human.
Hmm.
And so if we let that get in our way, the morning will never be what we need it to be. And so my morning, I wake up, I go right to either running or my bike, do a few miles either in the
Yeah.
park, and then get back, do meditation then after shower, do some sort of, again, Tony Robbins, Tom Bilyeu, Jay Shetty, who knows?
Yeah.
It's somebody, but I'm listening or reading something.
Hmm.
Do a little bit of that as well, and then it's just kind of preparing myself for the day. Like, hey, I'm in control of this. I got another chance. I
Hmm.
have 40 some thousand choices to make today. Let's just
Right.
make as many good choices better than bad choices, and then it'll be a good day. And hopefully, I get to try this again tomorrow. And that's
Absolutely. And dude, you said something there that really sticks with me. Like, and I forget exactly how you said it, but I got to wake up, so I've got another day.
yeah,
That means you're not done. That means you're not
yeah.
done. So if you're
Uh-huh.
not done, make the best of it. And this Trey put this up, and I think he posted this earlier today on LinkedIn. I love this: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Choose one.
Yes, you're going to, in every facet of your life, you're going to choose one. You're always going to get one, either the pain
Yep.
of discipline or the pain of regret. With your health, uh, make too many of the wrong decisions. I had that issue. I mean, shoot, just
Yep.
about a year and a half ago, I weighed 255 pounds. I used to weigh that regularly when
Mm.
I started to focus on other things more than my health. Then,
Yep.
once I got discipline there and I stopped using my own excuses
Mm.
of why, oh, well, this, oh, well, that. And it's
Right.
no, you just are being lazy and you're not listening to what you're not putting in and implying. Shout out, Dan. You're not
Right.
applying, the things you're listening to. And I was like, okay, no, I have to do this. And then once I did
Yeah.
that, and I think you talked about that, but once I really started to focus on my health, my
Hmm.
my physical, then it was like, okay, hold on, the discipline
Right.
here, and again, to Trey's quote, the discipline here, it was I was dealing with one or the other. This one's a lot better because I feel a heck of a lot better doing it this way.
And not only physically, do you not function better when you
Oh,
sit down at your desk after your run, after your bike, when you sit down to start making your calls or doing your work or whatever it is that you have to do that day? Do
yeah.
you not feel more productive? Is your mind not more focused? Are you not more motivated and driven and like charged up to go?
Absolutely, and I think you nailed something. It's our mind. Our
Hmm.
mind. We as humans, we're the most adaptive creature there is on this planet. We adapt to everything. We can be anything. A tree can only be as tall as a tree is going to be from the moment it's made a tree. A
Yep.
horse, all of these things. But we can adapt to be anything that we want. This is the only thing that really stops us from that. And yeah, you nailed it. I mean, when we can get that out of when we can get this out of our way and we follow more of this, uh, everything else kind of falls into place.
100%, man. 100%. So kind of keeping with that theme, and not just discipline, but consistency in the discipline. What
Yeah.
role from a sales perspective have you seen in the different um, adventures that you've had being an entrepreneur, and maybe not even just being an entrepreneur, but in your sales career? Because you and I have talked about sales quite a bit as well. What role has consistency and discipline played in that process for you?
So I'll tell you, consistency. So there's two things that I think are big with consistency. One, like you talked about, I think the reason we win so much in the morning, if we follow that, we can say a lot of things to a lot of people, but we are the biggest thing that lets ourselves down. So we lie to ourselves the most. Oh, I'm gonna do this, but then we don't do it. Then we think because we didn't wake up that morning that. Uh, that we that it's no big deal, but we let ourselves down. So we started that day by already not doing what we said we were going to do. It doesn't matter if anybody else knows that. We, again, our brain said, you said you're going to do this when you're going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You didn't do that. Now all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, and this thing is taking over. And so I think the consistency of just constantly, even if it's a little bit, but just constantly doing it and just building that habit. When you have the habit of consistency over time, it just becomes a thing. It's just what you normally do.
Yeah, it just becomes a part of you.
Yeah. It's just
And I also find it interesting, like working with a team of people, whether you're in leadership, like you're a sales leader, sales manager, whatever. If you're consistent and you put on display your consistency and you talk about it and you're excited about it, it's going to be a lot easier for the people around you to be consistent, to be disciplined, to put in that work. Like if you're kind of like just dragging along and don't really care, if you don't care, who around you is going to care?
exactly.
If you're not consistent and disciplined and show that you care and show those things, your team isn't going to care.
Nope.
Like what? Like, why would they?
That's mostly what kills any team. Leadership think a lot of leaders, and you see this stuff on LinkedIn, they share it everywhere. Either the leader behind the boss telling people what to do, or the leader leading from the front. John C. Maxwell writes a lot of good books about leadership, but leadership is you can't tell any. You have to, in leadership in life, you control the controllables. The only thing you can control is you. You can't control anything else. And it's hard enough controlling us. So why even try to control anything else? And leaders that can just lead from the front, they're showing everything your team is going to follow. You can tell by, I can usually, going into a business, tell how a leader is by their team before even meeting the leader, because if the team is all on point, they're showing up, they're kind of doing the extras, they're almost acting as the manager, then that manager is instilling something into them more than just do what I say. It's, this is how we do it together, this is how we get there.
On the other side of the coin, what effect have you seen it when that's not who the leader is? When a team
I
is
usually
kinda...
leave. I usually quit. I'm out of there. No, people like me are out of there. Again, it, the difficulty of business, the difficulty of running a team, the difficulty of keeping a full team engaged is there are different levels of people knowing your voice, knowing you, and being true to you. You have to first be self-aware of what you are. I mean, so there's shout out to Giant, but a company that created this program that's called Five Voices. Voice that fits each person, and there's different levels of it. And I am a connector, creative, nurturer, and I could have nailed that before even doing it, but I've just seen so many people that I know, and everybody does kind of fit somewhere. But it's you knowing where you fit, and then knowing where everybody else fits, and then just working together with our good and our bad, because we all have good and bad.
That's good. That's really good. And as a leader, obviously, I don't think maybe anyone in their right mind wants to have that effect, but
No,
but we do, and we kind of catch ourselves
we
sometimes,
do,
and
even if we
it,
don't want to. Our kids are
right,
watching us. Our,
right,
our everybody else is watching. You don't. Some people you don't even know might be watching you, and
right,
they're picking up the little bad things you do, or the good things you do.
yeah,
So again, yeah. But Trey nailed it. Great movie, by the way. But yes,
that is a great movie.
attitude
Yeah,
reflects leadership. It's the truth.
yeah,
It is the truth.
it's fantastic, and obviously everyone has hard days, and like you said, everyone has good, everyone has bad.
Yeah,
It's what shift can you make? Like, can you pivot when you need to? Can you make the shift, the adjustment that you need to, either within yourself, or first within yourself and then within your team, when you
yeah,
see an unhealthy dynamic happening,
yeah,
when you
yeah,
see unhealthy practices, when you see a lack of discipline, a lack of consistency. And it's not just about like, we're all going to make this number of calls a day.
yeah.
I think the point of something like that is to create habits that are
Correct.
good, create
Yeah,
habits that not just make you money, but make you better at
yeah.
what you're doing. And when you see that within yourself or lacking within yourself, do you lean into it harder? Like, hey,
Yes.
I'm doing really well. What's the next step that I can take? Or hey,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this so well. What do I need to adjust to get myself back on the right track, or to help get a team member back on the right track?
Yes,
Um,
sir.
I think we gotta take care of home first, right? Like, we gotta
That's
make
right.
sure we're doing it,
Absolutely.
and
That's
then we
all
can help others do it.
yes, you cannot giant one great thing Giant says is you cannot give what you do not, you can't give away what you do not possess. So if you
Yep.
don't have self-awareness, you can't give it somebody else self-awareness. If you don't have happiness, you can't give somebody else happiness. If
Right.
you, again, all of those things, but life is 10% what happens to us, and 90% of how we respond to it.
That's
How
good.
we respond and the choice that we make from what happens to us is going to either take us to our path or away. But
Yep.
there's just two choices, like the guy one of my favorite authors, Rico. So,
Dude, you got to put that on a t-shirt. Life is 90 or 10% what happens to us, and 90% what we do with it.
listen, most of it probably. I'll tell you. I know where that one came from. I've heard it recently a lot from Steve Harvey. I'll give credit to everybody. I'm not the genius behind this. I just hear all of this stuff on YouTube and LinkedIn. So
But that's wisdom, man.
yes, sir. Yes,
Like
sir.
giving back what wisdom you've learned
Yeah.
is so important. And the other thing that I think, like, we talk a lot about branding at Beta Consulting Group. That's what we do. We help companies build their brand, build
Yeah.
their messaging, and not just marketing their products and services, but building an identity.
Yeah.
Because if your company doesn't have a known identity, success won't last. It
Yes.
just won't.
It's
If you don't
impossible.
have a mission statement, a vision statement, a set of core values that is your handbook, your guidebook, the lifeblood of what your company is and what you build your business, it's a foundation. Do you want a
I
house
agree.
with a solid foundation, or do you want a house with no foundation?
Bingo. Yes.
So yeah, you'll have some success, but wait till the storm comes. It's
Yeah.
going to blow your house over, man. Are you built on the rock? Or are you built on the sand? Like, what is that foundation for you guys? So that's what we do at Beta Consulting Group, and we talk about that a lot. Um, what
I love it.
does what do these practices and consistency and mindset and discipline, what does it do to brand? If it does these things to you and to your team, what does it do to your brand?
Yeah. Well, again, it's everything. It is literally everything. There is no way for you. It's the same thing that we say when we say you're coming through with commission breath. You know,
Hmm.
people can tell what's really inside. If you're being genuinely you and saying whatever you're saying and you really mean it, or you're just saying it to come across like you just
Right.
it's something you're told to say. And
Yep.
that's where I think a lot of people struggle too. You know, I've chased this dream of success, this dream of business, but chasing other people's vision of what it was, or uh, what I thought it, you know, worked for them, I wanted. And it wasn't really until that's not my passion though. You have to really find your passion. If if you don't have the passion that is if whatever you're doing daily for work, for business, for whatever you're doing, um, and those hard times, like you said, those troubled waters come, you're crumbling in a second. It's not your passion, you have to, whatever you're doing, you have to in your mind say that the worst possible situation could possibly come, and I'm still going to enjoy doing it. If you can say that, you're on it.
Right.
Just keep going.
Yeah. I love that story in scripture where they're talking about the guy who built his house on the sand versus the rock, because the house built on the rock was not exempt from the storm. The storm still came. And so if you know that storms are coming, if you know that, yeah, you might be killing it in your sales right now, but guess what? That doesn't last.
No.
Or you might be struggling beyond belief, but guess what? The struggle doesn't last either. If you know that everything is a season, what is the foundation that you're built on? And are you ready to sustain?
I love that you said season. Life, we have to live life in seasons. Again, I think this was maybe Matthew McConaughey, and I heard it from other people too. But having baskets for each thing, and you kind of touched on it. Your physical, your spiritual, your mental, your relationship, and having a bucket of each one, or a bank account. Matthew McConaughey uses that as a bank account, and again, those are constantly being withdrawn from. They are always being withdrawn from. And if you're not checking the balances soon enough, you might be emptying one of those. And so living your life in seasons and constantly keeping track of those is the only way you're going to really stay focused. But
it's when I love that. Thanks for that.
Yes.
That comment right there. I love the picture that McConaughey uses, because I've heard him talk about the bank accounts, and don't go into debt, man.
Do not go. Do not go into
debt. not with this stuff.
Close your account. That's it. Game over.
Right. It's too important. It's too important. Like, and we've touched on it a little bit, how it just kind of bleeds over into different areas of your life, but don't overlook your personal life either. Don't overlook the fact that if you build in healthy habits, consistency, discipline, like, you're not gonna somehow find a way to apply that to your marriage, if you're married, if you have kids, to your kids, if you're a sibling, to your relationship with your parents, or just your friends, or maybe just your personal relationships at work.
Yeah.
It will find its way into your life, good or bad.
Yes.
Good or bad, it will. You will see it show up in ways that you maybe aren't prepared for and don't expect it to. And you just don't play with fire. Like, just don't, you're going to get burned if you play with fire, right?
Reason to.
Right. It just, you have to. Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
It's good. It's good. Thank you for the comments there, Chandra.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah. You have to be prepared for whatever habits, whatever pain you're going to choose, to find its way into every area of your life. Yes. That comment by Trey, and I've seen it, on graphics and all sorts of stuff. Pain of regret. Man.
That one was good. And it is so true, guys. You only have two choices, and those are the two choices. That's it. Choose one. One's going to take you towards your goal, and one's taking you away.
Right.
You choose. It's your choice.
And I think physically is probably one of the first areas that we really notice it in. Like, if you aren't moving your body's going to hurt.
Yes.
Because your body's designed to move. If you go to a chiropractor will tell you your spine gets its nutrients from movement, not from sitting still, not from being in the recliner all day. And so, to anyone watching, I would encourage you, and maybe I'm speaking for DJ here, choose the pain of discipline.
Yes.
Because the pain on that side of things doesn't last. It becomes part of who you are. It becomes part of your daily routine, and it becomes so important and so vital to your success in these other areas of life, in your sales calls, in your emails, in your content that you're putting out, in your relationships, that soon, if you don't do it, that's when you start feeling the pain. And I love that you said this off camera. It makes you mad. It makes you mad if you don't do it.
I feel like becoming self-aware. I used to just even if I was behind or again, I used to not be so organized or so disciplined with my time that
Right.
I would get this feeling that then I started to, as I became aware, almost like the Tasmanian devil inside me just spin around like, this is not going the way it's supposed to, and just freak it out. And like, no, hold on. I got to get back. And
Right. Yeah.
And it's just be calm. Be calm. If
I love
at
it, man.
any time, stop, be calm, think, and then continue. Think what's next. What's next?
That's good. What's next? I love it. I'm teasing something out there right now. I'm not gonna tell you what yet, but I'm teasing it. Anyway, this has been an incredible conversation, man. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for agreeing to come on and chat with me a little bit today.
Oh, of course, man. Thank you so much. Everybody, remember, feed the good wolf. That's good wolf, bad wolf. Keep feeding this.
There you go. Feed the good wolf. That's a great way to end. It's a great way to end. Everyone, thanks for joining us today. Trey will be back tomorrow, every day, 10:30 a.m. Central Time here on LinkedIn Live. It's on YouTube. It's on, all the platforms out there. We appreciate you joining us today. Hope everyone has a great day. Let's go kill it.